extravaganza continues. Game number 3 of this 5-game series featuring two powerful Pennsylvania teams, Emmaus High School and defending 4A champion Harrisburg. Mike Zambelli joined by Jim Wills for what is the third game, as I mentioned, of 5. We will have coverage of Parkland and Sayreville still to come tonight, but this third game, a very intriguing matchup. Harrisburg currently ranked number 1 in the state. They're the defending 4A champ, as I mentioned, and of course Emmaus, a team that had been ranked number 3. We'll see how that shakes out following 2 losses this week. But Jim, this is a rematch of round 2 of the PIAA playoffs from a year ago. We're going to run some footage from that ball game, and the first thing to note is a much leaner Aaron Gray as a junior. He has certainly filled out a little bit from that point, but he played a good ball game. I think we have a shot of Matt Gwill coming up as well. A couple of guys who moved on from Harrisburg are Lawrence Ham, who's at Towson, and Anthony Buckner no longer with the team. But Harrisburg returns enough firepower to again be vying for a state title.
Well, anytime you have a state championship team, Mike, you're going to come back with some guys that have a lot of good experience in the big-time games, and they do. A lot of speed, a lot of situations that you can get yourself into that you better be ready for. This is something that they're not used to in Emmaus because you're playing pretty much of a slow up and down game. You better buckle your seatbelt because they're going to be coming at you, defensively especially.
Kirk Smallwood is the head coach of the Cougars, and of course they did win it all a year ago. They're 18-1 this year, 9-0 first half. In the Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division, they're 2-1 in the second half, and that won an upset overtime loss against Carlisle. They're not a very happy bunch right now.
No, they're not. They're not used to losing, even if it's just one game. And they're going to come back with a vengeance today, and they're going to give you everything they have. And they love playing in these kind of tournaments. These are the kind of things to get you ready for the state tournament, which is coming up in a couple weeks.
One of the young men to watch for them, a returning starter from last year's team, is Kamar Hall. He had a terrific ball game in that playoff win over Emmaus in that round. He's a multi-talented young man and one that's a concern for Tony Semler.
It is, averaging 16 points a game, 9 rebounds a game. The guy does it all. He's great jumping ability. He keeps you moving. That's the thing that's going to be different. A guy like that keeps you moving around the basket is going to be a force for Aaron Gray and those other big guys inside they'll be looking for.
He's one of 3 returning starters from last year's championship team. Turn our attention now to Tony Semler's Green Hornets, and they're not a very happy bunch right now neither. They've lost 2 games in Lehigh Valley Conference play, losing right here to Parkland on Tuesday night and last night to Allen. I just talked with him a little while ago. He says, hey, we're looking to start something new this afternoon.
Well, they have to. They have to go back to the drawing board and start getting things better and start doing some adjustments that they didn't make in the past 2 games. They got to step up now because it's getting into tournament time, and you got to start peaking at this time.
Of course, they have their own Division I prospect, and it is Aaron Gray, who's already committed to attend Pittsburgh University, but they're having a rough time getting him involved in the offense. While he scored in double digits, he hasn't been that dominating presence that they hoped that he could be in certain games.
Yeah, the last 2 games, he really hasn't scored as many points as he usually does, and today they're going to hope to get a man-to-man matchup so he can get a little bit more inside presence. But the thing of it is, they get one good thing going man-to-man, but the other thing is you better have your speed ready because it's going to be a tough, very physical, and fast man-to-man, so Aaron Gray will have his work cut out for him underneath again.
18-3 overall. As I mentioned, however, they have lost their last 2 in a row. Should be a terrific basketball game here this afternoon, so very glad you could join us here on TV2 Sports. Jim and I will be back to meet tonight. Starting lineups next.
Criminal justice. One of the fastest growing career opportunities. Allentown Business School can get you there. The criminal justice program at Allentown can prepare you for an important career where you can make a difference. Financial aid available for those who qualify. Call toll-free 888-806-0808. That's 888-806-0808.
Family Prescription Center in Bethlehem remembers when your pharmacist knew your name and your prescription needs. We've been serving your community for more than 111 years. Today, Family Prescription Center offers free delivery, old-fashioned customer service, and the best of today's technology.
I tell my friends to go there.
Call us to see how we can fulfill your prescription needs. 439 Wyandotte Street in Bethlehem.
You won't just be another customer, you'll be like the family.
GE brings good things to life at Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus during the GE Winter Inventory Clearance Sale. Save with warm indoor prices like these on new GE refrigerator technology with crushed ice and water filter only $9.99. This Hot Point Smooth Top electric range only $4.99. And this Hot Point washer dryer combo only $6.29 for the pair. Hurry in for best selection. It's an exciting winter inventory clearance sale on GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
We welcome you back to Parkland High School, site of this basketball extravaganza. Game number 2 this afternoon was won by Trinity 70-58 in a game that was just recently completed. And of course, game 1 in a game you saw live here on TV2 Sports, St. Benedict's 66-33 over Bethlehem Catholic, a mighty fine basketball team. First of all, we will be introduced to the Harrisburg Cougars under head coach Kirk Smallwood. 10 years now at Harrisburg. He won 216 and 37. Clarence Sinkler, a returning starter, wears number 5, a 5'10 junior. Number 11, Derek Thompson, a 5'11 senior, averaging 5 points a game. Number 15 is Danny Lansana, 6'3 junior, who will attend University of Connecticut on a football scholarship. Bernard Brown wears number 23, a 6'6 junior. And wearing number 34, and that will verify things for our folks in the truck, is Kamar Hall, a 6'6 senior forward, averaging 15-6 a game. Coach Smallwood averaging 72 points a game. Dan Weeder starts at the 1 guard for Emmaus, a 5'11 senior. Rhett O'Hara, 6' senior. Mike Brusco will wear number 33, a 6'2 sophomore. Adam Kaunitz, number 42, is a 6'3 senior. There's Brusco coming out. Kaunitz already out, and of course the young man in the middle is Aaron Gray, 6'11 senior, averaging 21-4 a game. And Jim, it was very interesting as you look at Tony Semler, their head coach, to look at that video from just a year ago. Sinkler, Thomas, Lansana, Brown, and Hall. Weeder, O'Hara, Brushko, Kaunitz, and Gray are Apgar Oil starting lineup, but to see how much thicker Aaron Gray is in just 1 year.
Exactly, Mike, and he did a good job going in that weight room, getting a lot stronger this year, and getting his quickness down a little bit better too, and that's what he's going to have to keep working on. Dave
Bondel and Jack Keeter are this afternoon's two-man officiating crew. There's also some other history between these two, and of course our viewers will remember back in the Stellar Construction Catch a Rising Star basketball showcase during Sports Fest that these two programs did meet for the championship in that game, with Harrisburg winning that one. So the Green Hornets would like to put an end to a now 2-game losing streak, and if they're to do so, they're going to have their work cut out as you look at 6'11 Aaron Gray. And some say he might be 7 foot as you look at Tony Semler. Coach Semler assisted by Sean Drury, George Roman, Derek Hoppus, and Brian Sable.
Emmaus quickly gets the tap and goes right to the basket. It'll be interesting to see if they try to play a little bit more up-tempo than usual. See if they can get some things going here offensively early.
Well, they've been slowed down twice this week as Gray looks inside, and Adam Kaunitz has the game's first bucket.
Well, that's the kind of thing that Aaron Gray has to do. We looked at that in the first game. We were looking at situations where the big guys were getting double-teamed, and you got to get rid of that ball, and he did a good job that time. One
thing you will notice in this afternoon's games, they have waived the PIAA rule that head coaches must stay on the bench, and I just have the sense that Tony Semler's going to like taking that seatbelt off. He's up there already directing his team. Yeah, I don't like that rule.
He didn't waste any time doing that.
Entry pass is a good one, and the first bucket for the Cougars is number 23, Bernard Brown. He averages 8 points a game. There is some terrific talent running around this gym here this afternoon. 10 teams, 5 games. Had an opportunity to talk to Jim Hutnick, who was pretty well handled by St. Benedict's. He says, can you believe they have a player being recruited by Villanova that does not start? When's the last time we had a Division I recruit around here that didn't start? Aaron Gray has his first hoop of the game, and the Green Hornets off to a good start, leading 4-2.
Well, it's a good job, and especially when you can get inside a one-on-one for Aaron Gray. It's exactly what he hasn't seen in the past couple games, and that's when he can really take advantage of it that time.
21.4 a game, 11 earlier this week against Parkland, 15 last night in their loss to the Allen Canaries. As you look at once again at Tony Semler, 5-2. Quickly the other way, they don't let you catch your breath. Clarence Sinkler leads the team with 43 threes, make it 44.
Mike, that ball did not even hit the basketball floor. That was 3 passes and a shot.
And a turnover, much to the surprise of Red O'Hara. Here you get a look at the three.
Good shot from the outside, and both teams opening up in 1-3-1 defenses, extending them to half court.
Sinkler, 5'10" junior guard. He is the team's leader in assists at 5 a game. Brown. Cougars deep, experienced as we have talked about, and they have a great deal of quickness. And that ball last touched by Emmaus. Weeder in a denial position right now, guarding number 15, Danny Lansana. Lansana, terrific athlete. 6'3" guard forward. Now, my notes have him as a junior, but he's already committed to UConn for football. I'm going to suspect there that he's a senior. Misfire inside. Here's Weeder quickly the other way. Good look for Brushko filling the lanes.
Good job by Weeder getting rid of that ball, and Brushko doing a good job being on the outside.
Excellent start for the Green Hornets. They lead at 7-5. Go back to that state playoff game from a year ago, and that was the toughest test that the Cougars would endure throughout their championship run. And I still say a couple of calls differently here or there, and that outcome may have been different. I know Emmaus feels that way. Remains 7-5 on the count. It's misfire. This is Derek Thompson.
Well, what happens with this 1-3-1, Mike, it makes you do a couple of things that you normally don't do, pushing the ball out to the wings and the corners, and it makes you make some different decisions.
Sneaking in for 2 is Derek Thompson, undaunted by Aaron Gray, who would be some 12 inches taller than he. We're tied at 7. I think it's noteworthy also, Jim, to mention that Emmaus playing last night. You do not have an opportunity to work on a whole lot for a team like Harrisburg. So, and Tony Semler is going to use that, you know, hopefully to his advantage. He said, we're going to make some adjustments during the game. We're going to see what we can do and, you know, see what we're made of. Andrew Carpenter is the game's first sub, as he'll give Adam Kaunitz a breather.
Good job by Harrisburg that time of denial defense. You see some interesting defense out front by Clarence Sinkler, taking some motions with his hands. They're big with the hand motions, as you can see.
Jim, you saw a heck of a talented team in game number 1, huh? St. Benedict's doubling up Bethlehem Catholic. There's Red O'Hara off the dribble.
You're right, Mike. There's a lot of talent, and as Coach Hutnick said, it's hard to believe that some of the people don't get to start and being recruited by Division I schools, but he had a lot of people he could bring in and out, and some very talented individuals.
Green Hornets now have placed 4 of their 5 starters in the scoring column. Red O'Hara, you'll recall, nearly brought them back in a great effort late in that game Tuesday night against Parkland, as Gray rings up 2 more and a foul. Well, the big guy asserting himself.
Well, the thing, Mike, with Aaron Gray, he's got to feel like he's just got out of the escape hatch, because for once in this week, he doesn't have 3 guys hanging on him in a trap. And, you know, they've been seeing zones all week, and people have been doubling down on him, tripling down on him, so now he gets a one-on-one coverage, and that's when he's at his best.
Jim, I've said it before, and I'll say it once more. I think Aaron Gray's best basketball lies in front of him, because when he gets to college, they will not be able to do that double and triple team, because there'll be other players around him that will, you know, definitely hurt. And I think he'll be, in that respect, have a little bit more open space and an opportunity. Gray's both field goals. He was fouled on Brushko. Yes! A three-pointer for number 33. And the Hornets on an 8-0 run lead at 15-7.
Well, that's the other thing, Mike, that they haven't gotten this week too much of, and that is some good outside shooting, because you can't just rely on the big guy inside. You got to get those zone busters outside, and that time Brushko hit a nice shot.
Cougars ranked number 1 in the Commonwealth, defending 4A state champions. Thompson once again down Broadway, followed up and in by Kamar Hall. Need to get a body on that 6'6" jumping jack.
That's where the other off forward's going to have to help out Gray. Gray did a good job of making him adjust his shot in the initial shot through the lane, but then when you get that rebound situation, you got to have somebody helping you out.
Well, Hara has it slapped back at him. What an adjustment by Hall. He came from nowhere, and Red O'Hara has to be thinking, where did he come from?
Here's a guy 6'6" out on the wing, showing you what he can do.
A little smile from O'Hara. That's why this is a good experience. And this is a team that, you know, you have expectations of winning a state title. There are more Harrisburgs out there. Good second effort by Brushko. 17-9, Emmaus.
These games are great tune-ups, Mike, and that's exactly why these guys like being involved in them. This is going to give you the preview of what you're going to see in a couple weeks.
Jake Weeder has checked in for Emmaus. Number 5, a 5'9" junior guard. Younger brother to Dan. And here is Dan Weeder. Gray has it poked free. I don't know that he was expecting that one. It was poked free from behind. Sinclair, he's a deadly shooter, averaging 11-8 a game. That is his second 3 of this one. And the Cougars have scratched their way back to within 5.
Puts him up to 45 threes on the year, Mike. That's a lot of threes.
Yeah, Chris Pothering of Central, I guess, approaching the 60 mark is the biggest number we know of here in the area.
Well, the thing that's amazing about that, too, is the fact that you know how Harrisburg runs up and down the floor, and there's a lot of transition buckets, so to have that many threes is a pretty impressive fact also.
1:42 to go, first quarter. If you are sitting at home on a Saturday afternoon, there are a few seats available, and I mean just a few. There's a big anticipation of the next game coming up of 2 New Jersey powers, St. Patrick's and Blair.
You're going to see Landis use his body excellently inside to get the foul called from Gray.
Lansana steps to the stripe. He is averaging a double-double over their last 6 games. He has 23s on the year, 13 points and 10 rebounds. He had 33 points in their loss, their overtime loss against Carlisle. Kirk Smallwood also serves as the school's athletic director. Lansana gets 1 of 2, and the Emmaus lead cut to 4. Gray now used to help break the pressure. Weeder, Kaunitz. This is Andrew Carpenter. .109 to go first quarter. Entry pass poked away by Hall, but retrieved by Carpenter once again.
Well, that's one thing you can't do, Mike, against this group. You can't throw a half-hearted pass because this group will snatch it up immediately. They are so quick.
Whistle and a foul. This one is on number 14, Joey Delgado, a 5'9" senior guard. Gray, triple teamed and leaves it for Carpenter down the lane.
Good job by Gray getting that ball to who he needs to get it to. That's what he needs to do here, to keep those people honest so then he can wheel himself.
Lansana, a little left-hand jumper, 19-15 Emmaus.
Harrisburg changing up defenses here, giving Emmaus a little bit of trouble getting the ball up the floor.
That's why the younger Weeder's in there. Jake Weeder in there for his ball handling skills, 5'9" junior. 23 seconds. Older brother Dan in some trouble and turned it over. A little surprised to see them go in that situation. Just 22.8 to go in the quarter. And yes, that is Dan Weeder. I told him earlier, the new and improved Dan Weeder. He got a haircut, and I like it. I like the new look. I told him a little while ago.
It does look good.
He's a competitor. Might see the Cougars now work for the last shot. 10 seconds. This is Sinkler. Has 2 threes already. He's going to break it down. That's a good job by Gray. That was 6'11", saving a bucket, because he made number 15, Lansana, alter his shot, and it forced a mess. Sub quickly in for Harrisburg is Michael Simpson. Simpson, an interesting story. He started some games as a freshman and averages like 25 points a game in their JV games, but has struggled, from what I've been told, once he steps up to the varsity. 6'2" sophomore, can play the guard or forward position. And now a conversation going on down in front of the scorer's table. And we're going to get another sub. Number 21 is Garrett Majors, 6-foot junior guard. Tony Semler, who probably still has some left over from last night's game. Emmaus, after one, leading Harrisburg 19-15.
Family Prescription Center in Bethlehem remembers when your pharmacist knew your name and your prescription needs. We've been serving your community for more than 111 years. Today, Family Prescription Center offers free delivery, old-fashioned customer service, and the best of today's technology.
I tell my friends to go there.
Call us to see how we can fulfill your prescription needs. 439 Wyandotte Street in Bethlehem.
You won't just be another customer, you'll be like the family.
Clarence Sinkler with a couple of triples in that first quarter. At the other end, when Aaron Gray gets triple teamed, movement without the basketball for Andrew Carpenter. Carp ringing up a deuce. Emmaus 19, Harrisburg 15. As we welcome you back to, and people continue to jam in here. I mean, this is a big house and a big crowd. I'd have to think that the folks with the Hoop Group and the Eastern Invitational Basketball Clinic are very pleased with the fan participation here this afternoon in this Hoops extravaganza. Second quarter underway, and I would think pace of the game right now, Jim, favoring Emmaus.
Oh, definitely, and they're getting the position inside that they want. That time they had the first one, but not the second one. But I think that they're doing a good job, and it's going to be how they're going to be able to handle this pressure right here.
There was Simpson with a good second effort. Gray had a block. Now trying to run the break. The big man a good pass as he is Carpenter on the same page once again.
Remember, Carpenter, only a sophomore at 6'3", has been playing very, very well here this afternoon.
Yeah, he's a young man, and I would know that Tony Semler, he's struggling with his confidence a little bit this year. Carp was a guy who played a lot of minutes as a freshman and was very instrumental in the success of last year's team. He struggled somewhat so far this year. 2 buckets here in the first half, and I know that's pleasing to Tony Semler.
Yeah, especially he's had kind of a struggling week as some of the other people have had also. And, the confidence factor, especially with that one, some things came easy to him when he was a freshman, and now as a sophomore he's being called on to do a little bit more. And it's been a frustrating week for him, so I'm sure he's happy with his performance so far today.
Yeah, Carp did not score against Allen last night. Had 2 Tuesday night against Parkland. 21-17 Green Hornets. Count it. Inside Gray. Muscles his way to draw a foul.
And Lawrence Polk, number 13, is only 6'3". He just cannot handle Gray inside in that match. You'll see coming up. And you see that he just is really held useless and ends up fouling Gray on the hand.
32 points, 22 rebounds in a game against Parkland earlier in the year. That was back in December. He's played in all 21 games, leads the team in rebounds with 10. Block shots, obviously. He has recorded, and I'm not sure his last 2 games, at least 12 double-doubles this year. Drains the second free throw, 22-17 Emmaus. Little baby hook off the mark. Streaking in was Lawrence Polk, but he just couldn't get a handle on it and lost it out of bounds. Polk's a 6'3" senior and a real key performer for them, averaging 8 points coming off the bench. Weeder, with 2 Cougars back defensively, decides to check off. Here's Gray. And as you mentioned, Jim, not used to that one-on-one coverage, but now the double team came and poked it free. Cougars on the fly. Sinkler, offensive board, blocked by Gray, but they think they got the big guy for a foul.
Interesting you pointed that out, Mike. I believe that Gray right now has more touches than that whole game I watched the other night against Parkland, and that's the key. But here he's going to get called for a foul inside, as the Cougars are just tough inside with going for the offensive rebounds.
Well, the coaching staff with Harrisburg, told me that Simpson's struggling on the varsity level. Looks good here in some short minutes off the bench. Good aggressive offensive board, 6'2" sophomore, and again was a starter as a freshman. And now he's played the last couple of JV games for him, averages 25 points a game there, so he has the ability to get the ball in the basket.
Emmaus doing a good job, excuse me, Mike, going in front of that 1-2-1-1 full court press, but when they get up top here, now the Cougars are starting to trap a little bit more and move a little bit more.
I'm not so sure as Gray has it poked away into the hands of Brushko. And an over-the-top call. I think Tony Semler wanted a foul with some contact with his big man going to the basket. That's a little bit of what we saw last year in the state playoffs. Well, it looks like there wasn't much contact there. That looked to be, that player just kind of glanced. The block was indeed clean. That could have been a good non-call. Ball's loose momentarily, might have a double dribble, and you do. Hall lost the handle on it and then found it, but shuffled his feet. He says no. Officials saw it otherwise.
Hall knew he was inside next to Gray, so he had to make some kind of maneuver out of it. Ends up being called for a violation.
Jim started to talk about this press while Emmaus is doing a very good job against it. Well, we'll see which way this one goes right now. We'll see how it takes its toll as the night wears on. And, it makes you go, obviously, at a higher speed whole game. And we'll see how, condition-wise, Emmaus can hold up to that.
And the other thing it wears on you is mentally. When they start hitting a couple shots and then they come right back at you with that press, that's the part that you have to watch out as a coach, because it'll start wearing on your players mentally.
Well, because they're doing a good job in that situation, Green Hornets lead it by 3. Cougars trying to pick it up a little bit defensively. And you can see they have Emmaus really, going at warp speed, if you will. And here's another board as Simpson clears the Green Hornet mess. And here is Michael. That one's partially deflected by Gray. And here's Kaunitz now on the move. Brushko looking for 3. And that's the kind of pace the Cougars would like to go at. And Tony Semler looks to his bench. Lands Santa in transition, and if this one is on Gray, well, I think it is. And this is not the pace that Emmaus wants to play this game at. There is the foul, and that is number 3 on Aaron Gray, and troubles now for the Green Hornets.
Exactly, Mike. And that pace dictates problems for Aaron Gray, because he's got to get back and defend, and you got to be able to move a little bit quicker, and they're going to take advantage of that.
You're absolutely right, Jim. I mean, it's not a situation where Harrisburg scored a lot of points in that up-tempo game, but it's not, it's not Emmaus at their best offensively, and obviously we see all the effect in the defense transition. Gray goes to the bench with 3 fouls.
And another thing that you said, Mike, and it's going to come into play here soon, is Emmaus played last night, and that's a difference. That's the kind of thing that really, and a tight ball game.
Green Hornets trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Started the year 1-1, won 18 in a row. And there's another rejection, this time by Lansana. Retrieved by Emmaus. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and work some clock here, be a little more patient offensively. Here's O'Hara. And he's going to call a timeout, and I'm not so sure that that's what Tony Semler is going to talk to his team about. Number 44, Matt Hoover, has replaced Gray. As you got to look at that wonderful look at the crowd here, and I'll tell you, they're seeing some great basketball talent. Atlanta Metro making it easy, 610-776 ride, or www.atlantabus.com. Thanking those fine folks for supporting these youngsters and their efforts. Mr. Weeder inside. Lansana says not in here. Again, it's another look from down below. As you can see, the other side of this gym just about filled to capacity. Not the way it has been for some District 11 championship games where we had standing room only and crowds of better than 3,300, but once again, I would think the folks with the Hoop Festival very pleased with the way this is being attended. Rob Kennedy is the president of the Hoop Group. Earlier today, we were showing you some jerseys of some players and numbers of individuals that played in this event, not necessarily right in this one here, but have been involved in Hoop Group tournaments throughout the country, really. And of course, Allen is playing up in the Williamsport area. Good backdoor as Counts frees himself, and an assist for Brushko.
Well, that's the thing you're going to have to do, Mike, now. Take your time, dissect, do what you need to do. Don't hurry it. Don't get caught in that transition game.
Still think it's the mark of a attentive team that comes out of a huddle and rings up. I mean, you know, that play's diagrammed in that huddle, and that was great execution. They attacked him and picked up a deuce. Lead by 5, Lansana with no Gray inside now. Makes it 24-21 Emmaus. Here's Hoover. Matt Hoover, 6'6" senior, can play the center or forward position. And a good basketball player. Here he is, number 44. Unfortunate for him, he's currently second on the depth chart behind Aaron Gray. And they did test those waters the other night. I was anxious to see that with both he and Gray in the lineup at the same time. They could put a big team out on the floor.
Well, obviously, that's the thing that Coach Semler would like to have happen here down the stretch. Take some of that pressure off Gray, be able to have somebody go inside as big as he is at 6'6" and give him some inside help when it comes to the rebounding.
Personal foul on number 34, Hall, his second. Team 6, so the next one won't put Emmaus to the line. And now we see the Green Hornets go to somewhat of a slower pace, or more deliberate, if you will. Here's Hoover, left hand. Ball's still loose, and Brushko has it. And now he's going to bring it back out, and they have an opportunity. Well, maybe an opportunity, as O'Hara's in some trouble. Hoover bails him out. Brushko, yes! Good hustle by the Green Hornets.
Smart move by Brushko to sit there, just wait a half a second, get those guys up in the air, and then come up and under.
Here's Lansana, 23's on the year, not this one, and Counts looks over to the bench, and Tony Semler with arms straight up to slow it down a little bit. Brushko passes on an open 3. Counts. Well, I'll tell you, this group right now for the Green Hornets is really scrapping. We're at inside position there. Looks like the mascot having a rough time going back to back, huh? Yeah, last night a game, and now today. Yeah. Go figure. That's some night's work, though, I'll tell you, in one of those uniforms. Here's Hall. Blocked by Hoover, but a foul. Oh, what a good effort by Hoover. And the Emmaus fans thought that that was clean.
Hoover has given them some excellent minutes here in the second quarter as he goes straight up, and could go either way on that one, Mike.
You know, Jim, you look at Hoover and you mention his ability, you know, and I don't think I'm going out on a limb. There's a young man that probably could start in 85% of the programs here in the Lehigh Valley. You know, again, he plays behind Aaron Gray, and he has really given them some good minutes. He played well in an overtime win against Parkland back in December, I remember, and I know last year he played some very meaningful minutes.
And don't forget, probably in practice all week, Mike, he's playing behind Aaron Gray, so he's getting better because he's going against a Division I recruit every day in practice.
Playing against the best in the area, that's a good point. Hall drains the second, 26-22, and now a steal. One of the few times the Cougars have been able to come up with something off that full-court press. Derek Thompson earning a trip to the stripe.
And that's what we talked about, that press. It starts to establish itself again, and you get a little bit lax. And before you know it, they sneak in and get a real quick steal from Derek Thompson.
As a team, Harrisburg, they gave me 85% free throw shooting. That's an astronomical number. They didn't give me individuals, but they said as a team they're up about 85%. So that's one of the reasons you're 18-1 and a defending state champion. That is for sure.
Certainly much better than the ones we've talked about here in the Lehigh Valley this winter.
Yeah, we saw two of our best around here last night in Whitehall and Central at about 73-74%. Here's Red O'Hara as he checks off. 1:16 to go, first half. Bushko looking for three. Rebound to number 13, Lawrence Polk. Opportunity to draw even with a deuce or take the lead with a three. It's Thompson, and we're knotted at 26. Carpenter, then turned it over. I'm a little surprised, Jim. Green Hornets have gone kind of quickly on a couple of possessions, and I think that might be a little surprising to Tony Semler.
Right, I think you want him to slow it down a little bit, especially that time, because Harrisburg gets back off of that press very, very quickly, and that time they had two people on him, and that was just something that a needless turnover happened with.
Well, Harrisburg, after trailing throughout just about all of this first half, an opportunity to take the lead at the break. We're even at 26. Sinkler, you better watch a closely guarded and barely gives it up. Maya's coaching staff wanted a 5-second violation. Lansana now. Then checking the clock with Sinkler, and there's a tip in. Bernard Brown, and the Cougars have a lead at 28-26. And quickly the other way is Rhett O'Hara. And so, after leading throughout most of the first half, the Green Hornets will indeed go into the locker room, surprising Harrisburg 29-28.
Different? It's okay to be different. The Suzuki Ario from Lehigh Valley Suzuki is different, with all the room you're looking for and more standard horsepower than the Toyota Matrix. At $179 a month and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the Suzuki Ario is America's best value. I'd say that's different. The Suzuki Ario from Lehigh Valley Suzuki on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile. It's okay to be different. Well, that's just weird.
Criminal justice. One of the fastest growing career opportunities. Allentown Business School can get you there. The criminal justice program at Allentown can prepare you for an important career where you can make a difference. Financial aid available for those who qualify. Call toll-free 888-806-0808. That's 888-806-0808.
GE brings good things to life at Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus during the GE Winter Inventory Clearance Sale. Save with warm indoor prices like these on new GE refrigerator technology with crushed ice and water filter only $9.99. This Hot Point Smooth Top electric range only $4.99. And this Hot Point washer dryer combo only $6.29 for the pair. Hurry in for best selection. It's an exciting winter inventory clearance sale on GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
Now more people than ever are finding the pre-owned car, van, truck, or SUV they really wanted at Scott Lot on Lehigh Street or right from their home or office at scottcars.com. You'll see the Blue Book price right next to the Scott price, so check it and save. As always, you can choose from the finest pre-owned inventory. But best of all, you'll buy with confidence from the most trusted name in the Lehigh Valley. Visit scottcars.com or Scott Lot on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile.
Get up.
Okay, fellas.
So what do you think? Good offense or good defense? Pick one to experience the Volvo S60 at volvocars.com.
18-1 Harrisburg, 18-3 Emmaus. It is the Green Hornets by a mere digit as we welcome you back here at the half. Parkland High School, the site of the 8th annual Hoop Group Invitational. It started as the Delaware River Hoop Challenge, which pitted Pennsylvania teams against, of course, their counterparts from New Jersey. They were originally held at Lehigh University. Jim, I think they've really found a home here. Obviously, they have the auxiliary gym for warming up prior to games. Plus, they have the locker room facilities. It's a perfect venue for this event.
It is, and you can tell that the people have come out in droves this year, which is a difference in the past couple years, and they've done a good job. As you see the jerseys there, some of the people who have played in this hoop group. This not only happens around here, but it happens all over the country, and they have different spots that they play these games in and these setups in, and you can see some of those players, some great players on those jerseys.
Not necessarily playing right in that Tim Thomas did. Tim Thomas, I remember, played at Lehigh. Not necessarily some of those names playing here in the Lehigh Valley, but part of the hoop group. As I mentioned, they run these throughout the country, and they are, as you can see, a huge success. Service Electric, cable television, so very glad you could join us here this afternoon. Emmaus leading Harrisburg at the half, 29-28. We'll be back to look at some highlights and some numbers after this.
Different? It's okay to be different. The Suzuki Ario from Lehigh Valley Suzuki is different, with all the room you're looking for and more standard horsepower than the Toyota Matrix. At $179 a month and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the Suzuki Ario is America's best value. I'd say that's different. The Suzuki Ario from Lehigh Valley Suzuki on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile. It's okay to be different. Well, that's just weird.
When you need a prescription filled, who do you turn to? Walters Pharmacy. Walters Pharmacy compounds prescriptions and takes filling prescriptions as their #1 priority. At Walters, you'll save time. Trust Walters Pharmacy for convenience with free fast delivery in the city of Allentown. You can visit walterspharmacy.net and email the pharmacists with questions. Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy, making life easier through genuine care.
Let's go get Yakult. You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yakult for quality that beats the rest. They got cheesesteaks, French fries. The famous Yakult hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yakult. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yakult's, an Allentown tradition.
From business and life insurance to car and property, we have the policy that will work for you for less. You're more than a customer at D.E. Cressman Insurance Agency because we really care. When you decide to use our services, you become a member of a growing family. We are a full-line agency at D.E. Cressman Insurance and welcome the opportunity to quote your auto, home, commercial, and life insurance needs. So don't get bugged about your insurance rates because we are here for whatever your need may be. Give us a call at 610-433-1568 or visit our website.
Who says you can't keep up with the kids today? The versatile Volvo V70.
Discover the Poconos' premier entertainment complex, Penn's Peak, featuring entertainment above the rest. Offering musical genres including country, rock, and contemporary performers. Upcoming acts include Brad Paisley, February the 4th, Three Dog Night, February 7th, the Charlie Daniels Band, March 28th, Blue Oyster Cult, and Foghat, April 12th. Penn's Peak Restaurant features a mouth-watering menu open 6 days a week. Penn's Peak, entertainment above the rest.
I must have missed something in the truck there. They're having a good time. 29-28 as the Cougars and the Green Hornets having a good time on the courts as well. Take a look at some first half highlights. First of all, for Harrisburg, Derek Thompson, undaunted by 7 foot in the middle. And here is Thompson attacking on the baseline, knocking down a jumper. And when he wasn't doing it himself, he was setting up the likes of Clarence Sinkler, a couple of threes in that first quarter. Green Hornets got their big guy involved early, bucket and a foul. First time and the second time as well, and that's what they wanted. And when he wasn't getting it done himself, he and Andrew Carpenter were on the same page. Nice little cutter and strong to the basket for the Carp as he had 4 points in that first half. Harrisburg shooting just 37%. You have to believe that Aaron Gray has a little something to do with that. He may is shooting a sparkling 55%, both teams 75% from the stripe. 3-point field goals, both with 2 rebounds. Pretty even, 14-13 turnovers, very minimal, and I think that key number 5 for Emmaus. I think if that number can remain 10 or lower, they have a good chance to win this basketball game. Harrisburg, Thompson with 7, Sinkler 6, Lansana 5, Brown 4, Simpson and Hall 3 each. Brushko leading the way for the Green Hornets. He has 9. Gray with 7, but saddled with 3 fouls. O'Hara 5, Carpenter and Kaunitz with 4 apiece. And here's the difference as we headed into halftime. Ren O'Hara, and again, he hit a couple of big threes in a losing effort against Parkland on Tuesday night at that same basket. And he has to have some good feels for this court, Jim. He did, he really shot the ball well at the end, and he picked up with the same stroke here this afternoon.
As you made a good point, Mike, that guys like him are going to have to step up here during this stretch of the season now, because they're going to need somebody on the outside to be busting outside shot in, because of the fact that they may see more zone down the stretch.
No, absolutely. And, plus basketball, it's always been a team sport. You might have the Aaron Gray in there who is, a guy probably puts you at a level, but, it's everybody else must contribute. Here's Gray, triple teamed, and there might have been 4 guys around him. O'Hara and Gray, a smart move to pull back on that rebound. He can ill afford to sit any more time here if the Green Hornets expect to pull out a W. There's Kamar Hall starting the second half with a bucket, and the Cougars take a 30-29 lead.
Once again, Emmaus is going to have to handle that full court pressure, do a good job of it here in the second half.
Oh, Gray did a good job there to, number 1, not get hurt, and number 2, not turn it over. His foot just slid right out on him. Weeder, Kaunitz, Brushko, O'Hara, and Gray. Same starting 5 for Emmaus. For Harrisburg, Sinkler, Thompson, Lansana, Brown, and Hall. Thompson picks up a personal, his first, team's first, early going second half.
The other thing that Aaron Gray has got to start doing is just not worry about people falling into him and just keep playing. And because, you know, you can't coax a foul out of somebody unless you get that, you know, you're going to get the call, you're going to get the call. So you can't get yourself mentally out. And that's, I see that happen a couple times here in the last couple of segments. Play hard, let it happen.
Personal foul quickly once again on number 11, Thompson, his second. And it'll send Dan Weeder to the free throw line. Dan had a big ball game in that PIAA playoff game. Hit that fall-away three-pointer at one point, hit a couple other threes. He's averaging 8-1 a game this year and has 17 triples to his credit. He did have 10 points, including 2 threes in a losing effort last night against Allen. When I say last night, if you're watching this replayed on Sunday, that would be Friday night. Cross court, here's Sinkler. Boy, he's deadly. My goodness, he doesn't miss when he's left alone beyond that arc.
Confidence in his shot, Mike. So much confidence. You could just see it.
Rushko in some trouble, lost out of bounds. And it will stay right here with Emmaus.
You see they hit him right outside the three-point arc. And you can't let him have that open shot because he's deadly from out there.
He certainly is. O'Hara down the paint, wrap around, tough pass for Gray to handle. And there goes the turnover. Here come the Cougars. Sinkler, Lansana for 3. Yes! And Tony Semler wants a timeout. Boy, you turn it over on your end, and then they just drill you at the other end. It's 36-30, Harrisburg.
And it starts working on your confidence. That's the thing, Mike. You're going to see a little bit out of control as O'Hara was going down the lane, but a hand was put inside, and then they come right back down, shoot from the outside with confidence. And you see number 15 there, insane.
East Penn Conference, Lehigh Valley Conference action next week. As we have reached that point, Emmaus, and not a given to make the tournament anymore after losing back-to-back. Emmaus will have Duroff Tuesday and Whitehall on Friday. Allen has Central, then Duroff. Central has Allen, then Parkland. And Parkland has Whitehall, then Central. It is going to be a terrific 5 days of basketball. We'll have double dips both Tuesday and Friday night. Tuesday night will be live with Allen Central, same night coverage, Parkland and Whitehall. Friday night we'll have live coverage, Parkland Central, and same night coverage of Allen Duroff. And at one point, we hope to figure out who our 4 teams are. Back to action here. And Hall somehow squeezes 2 out of a chaotic situation.
Once again, the press, though, is starting to take its toll on Emmaus. There's another turnover.
And I think it's part of its fatigue, Jim. We started talking a little bit about it. Emmaus doing a good job in that first half, but you just had to wonder when the legs were going to start to tire a little bit. And I think it's only, you know, it was a matter of time, and we're seeing it now. Personal foul on the Green Hornets. It's on Brusco. That's his first, team's first, and it sends number 23, Bernard Brown, to the free throw line.
Well, Harrisburg controlling the tempo, and that's what they want to do with that press. Make you up-tempo, get it up the court a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, with a little bit more problems than normal. And it's caused a little havoc here in the past couple minutes.
I just think it's unrealistic to think, you know, even Bethlehem Catholic earlier, I mean, a 1 o'clock game against a St. Benedict's. I mean, after playing on a Friday night in an important league game, I just think it's unrealistic. I know this is a great event and it's fun to be a part of, but realistically to come in here and think that you're going to beat, you know, one of these teams. Parkland probably has an opportunity against Sayreville later tonight. Sayreville was a last-minute addition to this tournament as Weeder, a steal and a bucket. A big play in this game, and it's 39-32.
If I'm not mistaken, Mike, I think the first couple years they played on a Sunday.
They did.
And that was probably a better idea because of the fact you're right. Watching that Bethlehem Catholic game last night, they needed to put out a lot of effort in the second half against Liberty. I mean, they're down 8 at the half, and they came out smoking in the second half, but it took a lot of effort.
Well, I'd like to know where Doug Snyder's Canaries are going to find the energy in the tank. Carl Smartson looking on. But Doug Snyder's guys are playing in a hoop group competition in Williamsport. Now, they played Monday night against Becca, Tuesday night against Whitehall. Last night, obviously, in a huge game against Emmaus, they came up with a win. And they're going to have to get on the bus and take a good bus ride. And somehow Emmaus has regathered themselves here as Brusco drains a 3. That's 12 points. His first 3 of the game. Bounce pass gets away, and the Cougars turn it over. So for the moment, it appears the Green Hornets have played their way through a little bit of a slump in this game. Tony Semler unhappy what's going on with the substitutions. Cougars making 2 of them. 3:49 to go, third quarter. Green Hornets down 4. Weeder leads to Brusco. He's had the hot hand. This one rims out. And the rebound fought for but lost out of bounds off Emmaus.
Good hustle by Andrew Carpenter there, though. He's battling inside, helping Gray out with the boards. That's what Coach Semler needs to have happen.
A while since we heard from Mr. Gray in this game. Had to sit with the fouls.
That's the other thing. Over the past couple games, his second halves have not been that productive.
Yeah. I guess he had 12 of 15 last night against Allen in the first half. Here's Weeder, a good double team, alternate possession arrow. Will keep it with the Cougars.
There's Coach Semler, as you see him calling out defensive alignment he would like to see.
Boy, Weeder's creating chaos right now. Almost came up with another steal. Here's Sinkler. Oh, that's money in the bank, isn't it?
A good screen from Lawrence Polk. That's what made that whole thing happen. He got him just enough of a crack on the outside that he could get that shot off.
4 for 4. We're not sure if that's 4 for 4. It is 4 threes for Sinkler right now. 42-35. Here's Gray, one of his first touch of the quarter. Weeder inside to draw foul. Dan Weeder has found another gear in this game.
When you talk about fatigue, he's not one of the people that are fatigued, Mike. Obviously, he's going 100 miles an hour out there.
Well, when the Emmaus team came in, and I was standing down by the entrance, there were a lot of disappointed looks, and I thought Dan Weeder, and I should say angry looks, and I think Dan Weeder had the grimmest one of all. They want to put an end to this 2-game losing streak, and right now Weeder is showing that kind of a attitude. Misses the first free throw. His team down 7. Weeder's a 67%er from the free throw line. 1 of 2. 6-point game. And here's Weeder with yet another steal. He has Gray trailing. That's good transition D by the Cougars. Brusco in some trouble, goes to Carpenter. And the entry pass is swatted out of bounds.
Got to make that pass with authority against this kid.
They haven't gotten that pass in there once. That lazy pass over the top does not get there. Weeder down the lane, dishes to Carpenter. Does it count? It does. Set up by the heads-up play by Dan Weeder.
Good job by Weeder driving the lane, gets rid of the ball just in time, and Carpenter, using his body, controls himself off the glass.
You know, Jim, I can't help but think this has got to be a real confidence booster for Andrew Carpenter. They've been looking for him to, you know, gain that touch, and he has 7 points here this afternoon, and the lead has dwindled to 3.
Weeder almost had another steal out front.
2:10 to go third quarter. Paul, that may have been partially deflected by Gray, lost out of bounds off Harrisburg. We will be shooting some highlights, hopefully, of St. Patrick's and Blair, of which we will show you during the Parkland-Sayreville game, which we will return for about 7 o'clock tonight. And I say about because the games, obviously, you do not know how long they go, but it should be pretty close to 7 as we will be back after this one. Carpenter this time short in the jump shot. Michael Simpson played meaningful minutes. Clarence Sinclair for 3 more. That's 5 of them.
Puts him up to what for the season? That's 48 for the season. Good.
He's having a season here this afternoon. Boy. And I mean, he fires. He just.
And that one was off the dribble. That was a tough shot.
Sure was. Here's Gray. Isolated one-on-one. That's money in the bank for Emmaus. He has to make that quick decision. Feel that one-on-one and go. They cannot stop that. And a hand check foul on Weeder.
Yeah, Weeder's giving it everything he has here.
He sure is.
Good move. You see Coach Semler. He loves that standing up. You're right,
I like it. I like to see him up, too. I feel sorry for those guys. Have to be fastened into that seat.
Wear out an awful lot of your shoes when you're pounding them there. Sitting in that seat.
I understand why the rule was put in. I think some coaches got a little out of hand, but officials have the opportunity to call technicals if they want. Oh, what a good look, but a block by Carpenter and a foul.
Big play that time. If they could have got that block, that would have been very, very monumental here to give them a little bit more momentum.
Wow.
That was close.
Wow, that looks pretty clean. Tough break for the Green Hornets. And it does indeed send Bernard Brown to the stripe, averaging 8 a game. Cougars leading by 4. We're under a minute to go, third quarter. Jim holds about 3,200. I'd have to say there's close to 28-29 in here seated right now. And enjoying some excellent basketball. Again, this one as good as it gets in the state of Pennsylvania. 2 teams who started the week ranked in the top 5. Harrisburg 1, Emmaus 3. And there's a foul. And this will send Gray to the free throw line. That's an area they could maybe take advantage of. 7th team foul. Emmaus has committed 3. Personal on Lawrence Polk. Gray for a 1-and-1. Carpenter keeps it alive, but into the hands of Lawrence Polk.
You're right, Mike. They're going to have to take advantage when they get those one-on-one situations.
And here's a timeout with 40.2 seconds to go third quarter. As Kirk Smallwood will work on a play. Atlanta Metro making it easy. 610-776 ride. www.landabus.com. High school wrestling coming your way tonight, 10 o'clock. Same night coverage if you're watching this ball game live on a Saturday afternoon. The District 11 3A Dual Meet Championships. Once again, same night coverage tonight at 10 o'clock. We will also be replaying Becca and St. Benedict's. Jeff Schuler has a night off from the 76ers. They must be out of town. I'll tell you, there's an awful lot of folks here. I saw Gordon Blaine. Sports Fever magazine is here. Judd Donahue, who calls the state championship games, is also here in attendance. This has really drawn a lot of folks from around the state, and I don't think anybody has been disappointed.
Well, everybody gets a good look, Mike, at 2 teams that they think will be in that final 2 weeks of competition when it comes to the state playoffs. And that's a thing that it's always great to get an advantage to see teams once or twice before you go to that state playoff game. And there's a lot of people coaching-wise, too, they're probably here watching.
Cougars working for the final shot of the frame. They're leading by 6. Sinclair in some trouble. Hall did a good job to save it. Here's Joey Delgado off the heel of the rim. Offensive follow. So we've played 3. It is the defending 4A state champions. Harrisburg 47, Emmaus 41.
Hey, Little Mets, big moments. Big brothers and sisters of Lehigh Valley. Raising a lot of money out there for the kids, helping the kids. Come bowl with us. March 2nd, Jordan Lanes. Don't meet me there, beat me there. You're going to see my friend Katrina, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Bowl for kids' sake. Come out and join Daryl Dawkins and the Valley Dogs raise money for Big Brothers, Big Sisters. March 2nd at Jordan Lanes. For more information on registering a team, call today.
By the quarters, Harrisburg winning the third 19-12, and they lead at 47-41. They trailed by 1 at the half as the final 8 minutes now underway. Game number 1 this afternoon, St. Benedict's beating Becca 66-33. Trinity knocking off Bishop Hannon 70-58. Still the club after this one. St. Patrick's in Blair. You might want to get up off that couch and take a little ride here to Parkland High School. They have Villanova bound, Michael Marty, Seton Hall bound, Grant Billmeyer, and freshman sensation Derek Character for St. Patrick's. Blair, of course, has Duke-bound Luol Deng and Illinois' recruit Charlie Villanueva. Some quality athletes in the 4th game, and then we will be back with live coverage of Parkland and Sayreville.
Andrew Carpenter did a nice job that time, Mike, of going down the lane. He saw that Gray was double teamed and took advantage of it, and that's what they got to have happen out of him all year towards the end of the year playoffs.
Park the second free throw. It's back to a 5-point game. Here's Hall. Up, under, and scores. Terrific effort by Kamar Hall. That puts him in double digits with 11.
It's a big bucket here now because you don't want to turn this ball over. You don't want to miss his shot. You got to get some points out of this possession.
Reeder picked up by Sinclair. Count it. And there's the entry inside. Gray, yes! Nice athletic move by the big man as he was stuffed underneath that bucket and reached back to lay it in. 49-44. Oh boy. Wow. And you know, it's to the point now, Jim, you can see they're going in. That was number 15, Danny Lansana.
They're really confident from that corner now too, and it's, you got to get somebody out there, get a hand in his face.
It's 5 threes now in the game for Harrisburg. 7 threes, excuse me. Sinclair has 4 himself. Here's a foul prior to the shot, but it still will be a 1-and-1. That's the 9th team foul. That could be the biggest number on that board right now. If he manages to get back in this one, have an opportunity to win, the rest of the way out, they will shoot 2 free throws.
Well, as you stated, in that playoff game last year, there was some tough calls going against the Hornets. This time, I think that they've done a smarter job of working themselves inside and getting some good looks.
Brushko 11 last night and 3 threes in their loss against Allen. He had 6 in a triple Tuesday night against Parkland. 13 a couple of games back against Central Catholic. 52-46. Green Hornets hanging around. Here's Thompson. Gray the rejection, but another foul, and he better watch himself. Upset with the call.
And that time there was a huge hole that Derek Thompson saw happen, and he took advantage of it, went right down the lane.
Oh, that's a clean block. I understand. You still can't do this, though, and Gray's a little fortunate. The scowl of the big man, and it looked like a clean block, and it looked like there were a couple of them in there. You know, it's something, Jim. You know, you're in a 2-game losing streak, and you know, it's not the time of the year you want to be going through that, but you know, sometimes it goes this way, you know, when you're doing. We saw a couple of calls that maybe there were clean blocks in there, and that obviously a big call against Emmaus is that is number 4 on Gray. Comes with 6:07 to go in the contest.
And the other factor, I think, Mike, is that when you officiate games, a lot of times these guys haven't officiated a game with a big guy in it.
We've talked about that, yes.
That's the thing that's a different story. Great
entry there from Carpenter to Gray. And it's 53-48. Boy, if you're Harrisburg, I think you'd have to start attacking that middle and keep going after it. Here's Hall extended way out. As Gray is just kind of floating right now in the paint. 5:29.
They're going to try to draw Emmaus out here further, Mike, as we get a timeout. As Coach Simler is going to have to make an adjustment here.
Lehigh Valley Hoop Festival began 8 years ago as an interstate battle for bragging rights between New Jersey and Pennsylvania high school teams. Originally the Delaware River Hoop Challenge, it featured some of the top teams and players in the country. And there you get Aaron Gray. This is one where he kind of reached back underneath the bucket and scored. And this is a good delivery. Good seal and pin, and good recognition that time by Carpenter, who continues to have one of his better games of the year. Harrisburg, Emmaus, ranked 1 and 3 respectively in Class 4A by the Harrisburg Patriot News, while Becca was number 4 in Class 3A. Trinity number 1 in Class 2A, and Bishop Hannon number 1 in Class 1A. Parkland, of course, the host school of the Lehigh Valley Hoop Festival, is among the top-ranked teams here in the Lehigh Valley. Then, of course, you bring in the New Jersey teams, featuring the likes of St. Benedict's playing against Becca. St. Pat's and Blair will be a rematch of one of the best games in the state of New Jersey, a 2-point thriller which was won by St. Patrick's on January 8th. So Blair will get an opportunity to atone for one of their rare losses on the year. 53-48 here is Harrisburg. Now will spread the floor, and they throw it away.
Good turnover for the Emmaus defense that time. Now they have to take advantage of it.
Weeder short. Gray poked out of bounds, last touch by Harrisburg. That's a good job by Gray to come up with a loose ball.
You see Emmaus set up that picket fence out front at the foul line, try to get it in to the corner.
Rush go for 3. Yes, sir. 53-51 Harrisburg. That is 17 for Michael Brusco, 6'2" sophomore.
Now here's what's going to happen. You're going to play a little cat and mouse game here. Coach Semler tells Gray that he's got to come out and cover Kamar Hill.
I'm not so sure I'd do that. I'm not so, you know, with 4:20 to go, Gray with 4 fouls. Emmaus is back in it at a 2-point game. And almost let him shorten it a little bit if that's what they'd want to do. And I think Tony Semler is kind of committed to that as well. Gray sneaks out now a little bit. And he appears to be talking to Kamar Hall. Yeah, he's out there going with it. Under 4 minutes to go now. Backdoor. Blocked by Aaron Gray.
Fortunate that Gray got the block, that you can't double team this group. That's what Emmaus has to realize. And they made a mistake there, and Gray helped them out with it that time.
4 blocks now for the 7-foot center. I'm making him 7 foot. The last told me they 6'11 and a half. I'm rounding it off. 3:42 to go. 53-51 Harrisburg. Well, we mentioned how the Cougars averaging 72 a game. And right now, more in the vicinity where you would think the Green Hornets would have an opportunity at victory. They average 58.9 a contest. Sinclair, who's had a terrific game. And there's Weeder nearly with his theft once again. Boy, he's been a thorn in their side all afternoon.
Great job of sticking his hand, and you'll see he comes out there, just gets his left hand in there, knocks it out of bounds, and has his foot close to the line.
Yeah, that shoe size, a half inch too big. Hall. Aaron Gray will attend the University of Pittsburgh. And boy, Weeder was looking over to the bench, and Sinclair just took it right by him. But here's his turnover. Bushko coming out of the pack, and now counters.
And Gray did a smart thing, Mike. He did not leave his feet. Just put his arms up, did not leave his feet, and saved himself from getting that last foul called on.
I still think that strategy by Harrisburg played into the hands of Emmaus. Gray remains in the game with 4 personals, and now they have an opportunity to shoot for the tie. Gray, and a foul as Carpenter will go to the free throw line. Boy, you have to be impressed with the energy May's playing with right now.
Excellent job by Gray to look inside. He knows that he's going to get the double team. Carpenter's done a great job of sprinting down that lane all night long, and now he's going to step to the line.
He has 8, make it 9. 53-52. And this one rattles out. Remains a 1-point Harrisburg lead. .2:15 to go. Thompson, guarded by Bushko, took a pretty good shot to the jaw. That's the 5th team foul right now against Emmaus.
Personal foul number 33, Bushko.
His 2nd foul. Bushko, of course, the quarterback on the football team this past season, despite being just a sophomore. Here's a floater by Sinclair, altered by Gray, and the Green Hornets now will shoot for the lead. Gray extended out away from the hoop a little bit. Now they collapse on him. Now leave him alone. Baby hook, and Emmaus has the lead. 54-53.
Good job to recognize he was only one-on-one inside and did a nice spin move to the basket.
What does this say about Lehigh Valley Conference basketball? Emmaus leading the state's #1 ranked team and the defending champion after losing 2 in a row to Parkland and Allen, and the Cougars turn it over once again.
Once again, smart play by Gray, keeping his feet, just going with the flow, not trying to go for the ball, just putting his hands up in the air.
Weeder being hounded by Sinclair, and timeout. Tony Semler wants to talk to his team with 1:19 to go and up 1, 54-53. Boy, this is a gutty effort on their team. Now, I don't know. It was tough once again to get information from Harrisburg. Tried to get as much as we can. I do thank one of their assistants for filling me in with stats. I don't think they played last night, Jim. I don't have their schedule. I couldn't get one, but I don't think they played last night. I'm not really sure.
Well, I'm thinking the way everybody described how that loss to Carlisle was going to make them come in here a little bit angry, that's probably the case that they didn't play last night. So I'm going under that same assumption as you are, Mike, that they didn't play last night. But I'm a little bit suspect of their philosophy down here in this end with holding the ball.
So what I say, here's to get a look at, and it really fired up Aaron Gray. As this is you got to look at it. I'm not sure what he's saying. Can you read lips? I can't. I'm not good at it.
But that was the philosophy, that they wanted to pull him out, get him away from the boards. And the thing of it is that he has, in the last 2 trips down the floor, just by his mere presence, caused a turnover.
Yep. Weeder. Gray. Count it. Yes! 56-53. We're under a minute. Here's Thompson. Sinkler, who has been deadly from beyond the arc. Lansana for two. It's a one-point game. Boy, pretty touch on that left-hand shot.
And a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence. 2 passes and a shot. And you have to be aware of the double team here.
Kaunitz has it. Carpenter baseline. Foul prior to. Foul prior to the shot, and this is going to send Carpenter back to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Well, we said that the foul line was going to be very important here down the stretch. As you see Coach Sumner talking with his assistants, the key you want to do, though, is if you get that ball in the corner, you're going to have to go do something with it, because you don't want to get trapped in that corner with the amount of defensive intensity that Harrisburg can put on you.
Well, that personal foul on number 13, Lawrence Polk, so the 6'3" senior will call it a night. His 5th personal foul. And now I believe Kirk Smallwood has taken a 30-second timeout. 31.3 to go. A terrific battle between 2 of the Commonwealth's top basketball teams. Emmaus right now clinging to a 56-55 lead.
Now you got to admire Emmaus once again, Mike. They broke that pressure here the last time down. Gave the ball to Gray inside. He looked down low, and you got a fast break definitely going when you break that pressure out front from Harrisburg. And he did a good job of getting an inside from Kaunitz.
Well, one of the keys to the ball game has been their success in dealing with that full court press. Emmaus has committed 9 turnovers to this point of the game. What did we talk about at the half?
Yep, you said 10 or under, and they're going to be right in this ball game.
They have yet to turn it over here in the 4th quarter. Carpenter misses the first. And Dan Weeder showing some senior leadership to come over and try and settle down the sophomore. And he gets the second. This could be a breakout game for Andrew Carpenter. He has really been a major contributor here this afternoon. 2-point Emmaus lead. Sinkler. This is Thompson. Alters the shot, rebound Hall. There's 16 on the clock. Lansana, baseline. We're even at 57. 9 seconds in timeout, Emmaus. They put those points up on the wrong side of the board, unless I'm losing it. There we got it right. They had it 59-55. I thought I was losing it there for a little bit. That was... Correct myself, that was number 34, Kamar Hall. And the baseline move for the Cougars, and they draw even at 57.
Well, smartly, they get the ball to Hall. What you got to do if you're Emmaus, you can't really worry about double teaming, as I said before. You got to play them pretty much straight up and let them take your chances that way, because the double team they're going to find. They are the best at finding open people off of the double team.
Look at the Emmaus cheerleading staff mentioned the other night, or the cheerleading team mentioned how they will be going to their competition team, heading to Orlando, Florida for a national championship or an opportunity to compete in the Nationals. They're a very athletic crew. 9 seconds as they might be working a little overtime. We talked, Jim, about playing last night, now today, and overtime perhaps 9 seconds away. Kaunitz will inbounds. Goes to Brushko. Kaunitz has it back. Clock runs. Weeder in some trouble, and there's an he stepped out of bounds. Tony Semler was looking for a foul. I thought that might be the call originally as well. It was not. Let's get another look. He didn't leave him much court there, that's for sure. That's what they call a smothering defense. They kind of just rode the wave there, and I think by the replay, perhaps a good non-call, but it was going to be tough, it looked like, for Weeder to maintain his balance and stay in bounds anyhow. That's that smothering defense, that suffocating defense that they can throw on you at parts of the game. So they'll have 3.6 now to perhaps win this one in regulation, or we will go to overtime.
interesting to see what Harrisburg comes out of their huddle with, what kind of full court play they have devised. See if they can get a good shot off. Emmaus, once again, has to put on some nice pressure here. Make sure you don't foul.
Well, the guys that we have certainly seen shooting the ball, you really have to be concerned, I would think, of Sinkler from the perimeter and Lansana. Danny Lansana, a football player who will go to UConn on a football scholarship. He's a good basketball player as well. Lansana's number 15, and he has the basketball. And of course, Emmaus has some fouls to give, and they quickly give one to run it down to 2.1. And now they cannot foul. Tony Semler says, all right, guys, we're out now.
You see Coach Smallwood said, run the same thing.
Lansana for three in the win. Oh, my goodness, it rimmed out. My goodness, that he almost got it to go. We'll go to overtime, tied at 57.
Looking for that special corporate award or trophies for your championship team? Then contact the experts at C.J. Wagner's and experience the warm, friendly, and personable service that only Rick and Lois offer. From state-of-the-art engraving to the very latest in recognition awards, Rick and Lois will create that exclusive item just for your group and at a cost that fits into your budget. See for yourself why companies, youth associations, leagues, and schools from throughout the Lehigh Valley regularly shop at C.J. Wagner. And you'll be pleased to know that rush orders are our specialty.
24 years and going on 25. The torch is being passed at ABE Car Care Centers. From Cliff and Jim to Cliff Jr., everything is still the same. Same quality workmanship, same superior service. Car Care Plus. Available only at ABE Car Care Centers.
When they met in the PIAA playoffs a year ago, it was Harrisburg surviving by 6. We will go to overtime now, tied at 57. Of course, the Cougars also winning the prestigious Stellar Construction Rising Star Basketball Classic over the summer, and quickly Weeder, but it's tipped in by a hustling Andrew Carpenter.
You're right, this is a breakout game for Andrew Carpenter. He's really shown a lot more aggression than he has in the past couple weeks. Knowing he had to step it up today and has played wonderful here.
That's 12 points for Carpenter here tonight. Out of bounds last touched by Emmaus. Carpenter on the year is averaging 3 points a game. .334, we are in overtime if you're just tuning. Here's Lansana. He almost put an end to this thing. Thompson, an offensive board on the air ball. Inside, blocked by Aaron Gray and retrieved by Gray, and a foul on number 34, Kamar Hall. You know, the fact that Aaron Gray is still in this game is amazing in itself. He had 3 fouls at the end of the half. He picked up number 4 with still 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and he's still in here in overtime.
The thing that's the key for him is, as I've been saying, to keep your feet, because when he didn't have the foul problems, he's always trying to, reach over and lunge over and block. The last 3 times down, he's been so effective by just standing there with the arms up.
Well, Rich, we've talked, Rich, I knew I was going to do that to you one time. Jim,
that's all right.
We talked to Tony Semler, and he actually has officials come in and talk to his teams. And I know one of the things that they have addressed with Aaron Gray is verticality. Keep those arms straight up. And that's exactly what he did there. That was perfect defense for a man 7 feet tall. Aaron Gray to perfection, and he sinks the 2 free throws. So the Green Hornets out quickly by 4. But here is a foul on Carpenter, and that will send Kamar Hall to the strike.
See, that goes right to the theory. You're going to get a lot more fouls called when you're lunging than you're just standing. And that's the thing that is, try to get yourself there and be in a position to just put your arms up and be a detriment rather than be lunging at somebody. And you saw an example there with Carpenter lunging.
61-58. Kirk 23 years as a head coach, 278 and 111. Hall drains a pair, 61-59, Emmaus. Weeder, cross court, Brusco. Down court to the big man, Gray has Carpenter, but it was only there for a split second. Gray, inside, looked late. It's like throwing over the middle in football late. And that's not going to get there. Turnover, and the Cougars now an opportunity to draw even with a deuce, take the lead with a 3. Hall, blocked once again by Gray, retrieved by Harrisburg, but Gray's there for the defense by the big man for the Green Hornets.
He's probably played his best basketball in the last 2 quarters here in the overtime.
Here is Weeder, no, but a foul. That's 7 block shots for Aaron Gray.
And all because he's forced into it, that point of being in the foul trouble. You see, this time he leaves his feet just a little bit, but he knows he's got a pretty good angle.
Oh, they're playing, you know, sorry, Jim, they're playing like a team with a chip on their shoulder this afternoon. They refuse to let this one get away. Weeder has 4, as you see this afternoon. And Emmaus has had some opportunities. We could be done here, and I think Tony Semler aware of that. As a team, they are just 63% from the line, and we've seen some of that haunt them. 1 of 2 for Weeder. It's back to a 3-point edge. Foul on Emmaus, and it'll send Clarence Sinkler to the line. 3 on Brushko, team's 8. Offensive board. Oh boy, you hate to see that happen.
Big rebound that time.
Lance Santa once again sneaking in there. Sinkler, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
All comes about from that rebound off the missed foul shot.
Tied at 62. He shot that one from the feather in the Trojan cap.
With the hands in his face on top of it.
6 threes in the game for Mr. Sinkler.
But those rebounds always come back to haunt you off.
Look at it. He's tickling those feathers on that Trojan mascot. My goodness. Woo! Welcome to the Hoop Group, ladies and gentlemen. (62-62) with 1:42 to go in overtime. Game number 1 this afternoon. Becca losing to St. Benedict 66-33. Trinity beating Bishop Hannon 70-58. Still to come, St. Patrick's and Blair. And then we will be back with live coverage of Parkland and Sayreville. And needless to say, that will be a little later than 7 o'clock with overtime happening here. So kind of adjust your scheduling there if you're planning on watching the 5th and final game here this afternoon. Carpenter with the 2 teams now square at 62. Poked out of bounds off Harrisburg. Gray, they leave him one-on-one. He makes the pass to Carpenter. That may have been partially blocked. Andrew Abord doesn't get the roll. And the rebound to Harrisburg.
2 big opportunities in there. Got to convert those at that point. Good job by Gray getting that ball to Carpenter originally.
Sinkler. My goodness, he's human. Out of bounds off Emmaus.
A lot of bodies flying.
Yeah, I was just going to say, now you're starting to see some tired legs. Shade over a minute to go in overtime. This is Hall. Lansana blocked once again by Gray, his 8th rejection of the game. Sinkler, why not? goodness, what a show he's putting on. And a foul in the backcourt will stop the clock with 46.4 to go.
He has been unstoppable outside. As you see it once again, he just gets himself free. He's very, very smooth, very, very quick.
Shades of Raymond Barbosa last night in the Allen win against Emmaus. I guess Tony Semler's getting used to looking at that. Barbosa drained 7 threes, and Mr. Sinkler has drained 7 here. 2 free throws, 65-64. Last touch by Harrisburg. I'll tell you, this Emmaus team will not go away.
And give a lot of credit to Mike Busco. They're coming flying down the court, getting his arm in and knocking it off a Harrisburg player.
45.2. Green Hornets down 1. Gray extended out on the perimeter. Busco gives up the dribble. Carpenter, boy, they got one-on-one with Gray, but they just couldn't get it. There it is again. Gray one-on-one for the lead. Yes! 66-65.
Smart job of working themselves into that position. Gray knew he could get a one-on-one matchup inside, little hook.
Sinkler, bounce to Hall. Off the mark, Lansana offensive board. Blocked once again by Gray. Retrieved by Weeder with 8.5 to go.
And Weeder smartly calls timeout because he knew he was going to, or no, excuse me, there was a foul called underneath. I thought he had called timeout. There's a foul called underneath.
Well, and needless to say, a couple of big free throws coming up.
Good job of getting some hands in and then letting Gray block.
That's 9 block shots I have for Mr. Gray this afternoon. Weeder shooting 2. He has the first. Timeout. Charge this one to the Cougars. My, has this been a fun basketball game to be a part of.
Excellent job by both teams. A lot of different looks, a lot of different strategies. How about Gray having 4 fouls? Very, very long time ago, Mike. Did you see a good look from the high post? They knew they could get Gray in a one-on-one situation. Seals down, good job of spinning to the basket. And now he knows when he gets it inside, it's almost automatic.
That's great recognition. 67-65. Weeder has 1 more free throw. And obviously the way Sinkler and Lansana have stroked the 3, it's a big one. Something special about the desire of athletes, Jim, when we see a program like Emmaus had won 18 in a row, they're trying to put an end to a 2-game losing streak. Somehow you get the sense, even if they do not win this one, they have to be better for the experience. Here we go, 3-point lead again. Sinkler weaving his way for 3 in the tie off the rim. Gray the board. Emmaus hangs on to sting the defending 4A champions 68-65 in overtime.
Looking for that special corporate award or trophies for your championship team? Then contact the experts at CJ Wagner's and experience the warm, friendly, and personable service that only Rick and Lois offer. From state-of-the-art engraving to the very latest in recognition awards, Rick and Lois will create that exclusive item just for your group and at a cost that fits into your budget. See for yourself why companies, youth associations, leagues, and schools from throughout the Lehigh Valley regularly shop at CJ Wagner. And you'll be pleased to know that rush orders are our specialty.
Well, they needed overtime, but they get the win 68-65. Does Emmaus, breaking a 2-game losing streak. Clarence Sinkler named outstanding player on the Harrisburg side, and our big guy Aaron Gray was named MVP on the winning side for Emmaus. He is also our Coca-Cola player of the game, 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 block shots, playing good portion of the game in foul trouble. But Jim, as we analyze this one, Andrew Carpenter, Mike Brushko, Dan Weeder, Adam Count, it's a total team effort to break this 2-game losing streak, and that's what it takes against teams like Harrisburg.
Exactly, Mike. Everybody stepped up. Some stepped up a little bit more, Carpenter being one of them, to really help out here on the inside. And Gray played one of his better games of the year, obviously, on the inside. Got those one-on-one matchups he loves to see and played very, very well. Harrisburg
now 18-2 overall, while the win ups Emmaus' record to 19-3. For Harrisburg, Sinkler wound up with 21 on 7 threes. Thompson had 8, Lansana 18. Brown had 7, Hall with 13 majors scoreless. Delgado did not score, and Simpson wound up with 4. For Emmaus, Weeder 7, O'Hara 5, Brushko 19, solid effort, Counts with 2, Gray with 19. Carpenter could be a breakout game. He wound up with 12, and Hoover played well in relief of Gray when he had the foul trouble, did not score. 68-65, our final in overtime. Emmaus a winner. I want to thank you for joining us, and again, we will be a little bit later with the Parkland-Sayreville game. If you're watching this one live on a Saturday evening, I would guess more like about 7:30, 7:45. For Jim Wills, our stat guy this evening, Mr. Billy Atkinson, our director and producer, Mr. Donald T. Long, on behalf of all the staff and management at TV2 Sports, I'm Mike Zambelli. Thanks for watching the Hoop Group Basketball. Back in a moment.
You're watching national award-winning local programming from Service Electric Cable TV2, serving northeastern Pennsylvania and northwestern New Jersey from Allentown.
Service Electric Cable TV.
You are looking at Liberty's Memorial Gym, the site of tonight's District 11 dual meet championships between AAA Northampton and Easton. And AA battle will consist of Wilson and Northern Lehigh. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to District 11 dual meet championships tonight on TV2 Sports. I'm Doug Heater, joined once again by Jake Llewellyn. And Jake, really no surprises for either of these AA and AAA finals tonight. Northampton and Easton met again. Northampton defeating Nazareth today 45-15, and Easton defeating Liberty 44-10. Here we have our rematch.
Doug, Northampton was #1 seed based on beating Easton last week in the head-to-head dual meet. Easton came in #2. It was almost a lock that the two teams would get to the finals, and we're going to see it here tonight at Liberty's gym. In fact, Doug, what we're going to see tonight will be more exciting. I want to get the fans ready. It's going to be more exciting than the state finals next week.
I don't know if we can get any more exciting than we saw last week with Northampton winning it at 275, 31-29. One of the differences that we will see tonight, other than some of the weigh-ins that we're going to see, is that we're going to start at 275. So Northampton may tip their hand early on what they plan on doing up top if we see John Upplinger right off the bat.
I agree with that assessment, Doug. I think we're going to see Upplinger weigh in at 215, move up to 275 to meet Jason Groller. And I think that's going to be the move that they might have played with a little bit if the meet had started somewhere else. But they're going to have to tip their hand right off the get-go. They're going to show us Upplinger first, 215-pounder, moving up to 275 at heavyweight.
One of the big changes for Easton tonight is they have Mike Rogers weighed in at 135. We may see him take on Joey Ekloff. They also have Matt Lear back in the lineup. He wrestled last night and today, and he may have a good one against Billy Haight if we see that, or Ryan Nowicki, depending on where he goes at 160 or 171.
I think that's going to be a huge toss-up, Lear against Nowicki, or excuse me, Lear against Billy Haight at 160, I think we're going to see. I also think Dave Giglio and Criazzo where Criazzo was able to beat him 3-2 last week in a tough match. I think that Northampton really is going to bank on Giglio with the revenge factor on his side, returning the favorite to Criazzo tonight. So that should also be the huge toss-up of all toss-ups, Doug.
If we start at 275, that means we end with 215, and we anticipate seeing Josh Haynes and Marcus Millen. Could come down to them. Josh Haynes with a major decision over Marcus Millen last week should be a good finish.
I think Haynes has the ability to get bonus points there. I know he got a major decision against Marcus Millen, and it was close in the first period, I know, but then he came on strong against Millen. That'll be a very good bout, and I think Haynes has to be the favorite.
The District 11 AAA Dual Meet Championships are coming up next on TV2 Sports.
Criminal justice. One of the fastest growing career opportunities. Allentown Business School can get you there. The Criminal Justice Program at Allentown can prepare you for an important career where you can make a difference. Financial aid available for those who qualify. Call toll-free 888-806-0808. That's 888-806-0808.
There comes a time in an athlete's career when he knows he's at his best. It's that moment when victory is at hand and he feels invincible. The level of the game is irrelevant. What matters most is the feeling. And it usually comes inside a Russell Athletic jersey. Bethlehem Sporting Goods and Russell Athletic are a part of nearly every triumphant moment throughout the Lehigh Valley. Choose Russell Athletic and Bethlehem Sporting Goods. A winning tradition starts with us.
Family Prescription Center in Bethlehem remembers when your pharmacist knew your name and your prescription needs. We've been serving your community for more than 111 years. Today, Family Prescription Center offers free delivery, old-fashioned customer service, and the best of today's technology.
I tell my friends to go there.
Call us to see how we can fulfill your prescription needs. 439 Wyandotte Street in Bethlehem.
You won't just be another customer, you'll be like the family.
GE brings good things to life at Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus during the GE Winter Inventory Clearance Sale. Save with warm indoor prices like these on new GE refrigerator technology with crushed ice and water filter only $9.99. This Hot Point Smooth Top electric range only $4.99. And this Hot Point washer dryer combo only $6.29 for the pair. Hurry in for best selection. It's an exciting winter inventory clearance sale on GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
You won't find this on any new BMW. Or this on any new Mercedes. But you will find them on a 1999 Volvo S80. Which just goes to show they don't make some new cars like they used to. Certified pre-owned Volvos. Test drive one at your Volvo retailer today.
Welcome back to Liberty's Memorial Gym. You see the records, Northampton yet to lose. Easton, one of those three losses was a week ago, 31-29. And you know,